Ying family, Mbote. And when you see me, Massa here. I think everyone is doing great. So, Kembo Kembo na Tatanzambe Yamazulu. Hmm? Uh, Today we're going to talk about Africa again and his leadership. Now, that what is happening here at the moment is you have four African countries fighting against Europeans. They are like they want independence from France, you know? And you have other African countries, you know, they want to fight our own brothers because they want independence, because they want to lead their own country, and we want to get closer to see what is really happening. Now, it is Burkina Faso, we have Niger, uh, then we have Senegal, yeah, we have um, um, Mali. Those countries they want independence from France. Niger, especially because this is where Europeans have said that they gave them a lot of sanctions. Now Germany and the European Union have also sanctioned Niger, and that what is happening is you have Nigeria. Yeah, you can see it's almost the same name. We have the same people, the Yoruba, the Igbo, you have the Hausa, you have the Fulani. They also live in Niger. The same people that live in Nigeria, there's also the same people that live in Niger. Almost the same people. But the European nation, the French, and all of them, they are using Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Ghana. They call themselves. Wait, where did they put this name? ECOWAS. Yeah. This ECOWAS group we have never heard from them before. They have never done anything to Africa. When Guinea had war, we didn't hear about anything about them. When Gaddafi had his problem, we never heard anything about them. Congo had problem for decades, for years. We had never heard about anything about ECOWAS. But now, ECOWAS has something to do with West African countries. It's something that they put together with the West to explore our minerals and to steal from us like they want and to make us suffer. This is the coding behind this ECOWAS. Yeah. Now, what is really happening here? Why African zombies and leaders? I always used to say, if religion or politic, this generation, the elder generation, the elder generation is so manipulated because of slavery, because of everything, lack of knowledge, um, because of they want to stay in power. They want to stay in power. And what is happening here? You have the younger generation that is like, no, we want freedom. We want to lead our countries. We want to have real democracy because there is not something we are going to go into it very soon because Africa has never choose its presidents. Yeah, if a president die or if a white country kills a president, then they used to choose another president to put them there, a president that is another zombie puppet that works for them. Yeah, that works for them. Now, mostly they choose elder people. Elder. The most of the people that leads African young people, because the most of the African people are very young, are elder people. They're old. And these old people, they do not want to leave their places. They do not want to leave their stage, their, you know, it's like the in the scripture it said, are you not the Pharisees that used to sit up front in the front seats with your nice clothing and doing like you know the Most High better than the others? In the same way, the Most High is saying, those people that will know me, they do not even sit here. They will come from far. Yeah. People that you cannot even imagine. Because I will be not I will be not worshipped here, but somewhere else from other people. So the thing is, it's the same in politics. It's the same in politics. Um, you have these puppets that have never done anything good to the African nation or people, but they have uh, filled their pocket with money, made themselves rich, their children rich, and they want to continue like that. And France and Germany, especially Germany, people, the most of the people think that it's France, it's Netherlands, it's the Germans. The Germans are the worstest from the worstest. But all Europeans, all these nations are not good. But the Germans are dangerous. If you really go to history, or if you look behind the scenes, you will always find the Germans giving sending weapons. They're everywhere involved, but they do not open their mouth like the others. Now, we have 12 army soldiers killed from Niger Islamists already. Then we have, like I said, the European nations giving sanctions against Niger and standing for ECOWAS, talking about democracy. I do not understand. Even in Europe, it doesn't exist. Okay, they can go to Russia or China and say, "Oh no, there is no democracy. There is uh, uh, not something like democracy, but it doesn't exist because in the background we had Corona here, and we saw that they said against everyone that has said something against it. They pushed it to vaccines, and everyone has to take it if you want it or not. And there's a lot of more examples that democracy do not even exist in Europe and never existed in Africa, because like I said, they come and choose our presidents, they come and give us the laws and tell us what to do or not. Okay, so the people themselves, if they go to demonstrate and to talk again, to say, to go against the government, the first thing that happens, the gas is put into their faces, and many people kill, and the European government has never said something against that. Many, and it's everywhere that the civilization, the population, uh, is killed by the government if they open their mouth. Yeah. So there was never such thing like democracy. Just for you guys to know. Yeah. But the European nation is pushing that and saying um, that this still exists and this works, but it never worked. And they're so scared that this elder fraction of zombies, okay, puppets, Nazis, and stupids, yeah, that this elder fraction of presidents, we have Museveni, we have Lorenzo, we have, you have all of them there, all this Congolese from there, Zambia, Zimbabwe, there are most of them, yeah, all of them, they're scared that this elder fractions wakes up. They're like, oh, if these people started waking up, because this West African youth, this younger generation is coming and want war, really straight war. At the moment, they also taking weapons from Russia. They are also showing, like Burkina Faso is showing, this young man is showing that he received some weapons and stuff like that. He's not even scared that he's not even scared that that the ECOWAS, this group of West African leaders wants to invade them. He's like he's ready to fight. He's ready to fight. We haven't heard from this White Wagner group, the Russians, so much yet. If they are really really wants to fight with uh, the those African those West African countries that is about to getting into war. We haven't heard about them, but before we heard that they want to fight with them together. Like Senegal is involved, and we have also Algeria. Algeria don't want to be involved so much in that. They are like not really neutral, because France and the European nations now they're denying it, but they said to Algeria, and the Algerian president have said it clear that France wanted the Algerians to go and not only fight against Niger, but also send some flights into Niger to spy on them. And we know that not every French, there are still 1,500 soldiers or something like that from French and from France in Niger, and the Niger people want them out, like they were kicked out in Burkina Faso. So, brothers and sisters, that what is happening here is the European nations are so scared that the uh, these older presidents uh, will also start a rebellion, a revolution against the European, when they see that the thing will, when they see that the young revolutionists um, make it. Yeah, if they really kick France out, and what will come next? They're gonna kick the Americans out. Okay, because the Americans, they're like, oh, we still have some interests in those countries. What is the interest in those countries? What have the Americans done uh, in Africa? What have they built it? What have they, teached our people? Nothing. But the only thing what they have done, like the Europeans too, they have. Olha, não vou te ligar já, yeah? Espera só. They have explored and taken out our minerals for free. For free. That's the best part of it. France is not even ready to negotiate. The Europeans are not ready to negotiate with African people. They are like, no, it's not about negotiation. Like, yeah, we're gonna buy our stuff from you. No, no, no. It's about, no, we're gonna take it for free. And the population, civilization, is gonna stand. Is gonna stand, and like it is today, nothing will change. And this is the thing that the whole world don't want. I don't even believe that Europeans themselves, I mean, now the civilization, the population wants it. Only the elites and those who really knows the danger of kicking out this European out of Africa, because Europeans, Americans, Chinese, Russians, all of them, they do not even have anything without Africa. Nothing. Yeah. Um, it's like Southern America, America, Latin America. They do not have anything. The only people that have a little bit something are the Brazilians, and you can see it on the uh, what what is this gap? Garian gap, Darien gap. You have to Google it. Darien gap, Darien, the way of Darien, how people make it to America from Southern America, from Latin America. Then you're gonna see how poor those nations are, and they are fleeing to the wrong direction. It's because over the year they have done so many wrong uh, publicity. They said so many wrong things, bad things, the worst things about Africa, so that no one wants to come to Africa. No one wants to have anything to do with Africa. They almost took it out of the map. But if you look closer, you're gonna see that their hints is everywhere on Africa because they can't let it go. Which means those leaders, those people that suck from the mother Africa's milk, they can't let it go, and they don't want anyone to have anything to do with it, to know the truth about it, because this is where all the benefits and all the things that comes from this earth comes from. Everything comes from there. Everything. And they do not want you to know, because if you have some cash, if you have your luck, if you know what to do, if you have studied and learned something and you go down, you can help your people, you can build something, you can become something, someone, you know, and they are scared of that. They are scared that their own people go down and start doing the same thing like they have done it in China, going to China, using, you know, cheap workers. Yeah, like they have done it in America before, like they have done it in Germany, like they have done it in France, like they have done it in China, like they have done it in the United States, using cheap workers and bringing all their companies, and knowledge to Africa, and starting now doing infrastructure, doing economy, building machines, starting to working on cars, on the minerals are already there. Okay, so, and the workers are cheap. So this is what the European nation do not want. That China says we are coming over, like an African China thing or an African Russia thing, which is already an African Asia thing, like it was before. Because in the beginning of the history, it was always an African Asian trade, and the Europeans have enslaved the Asians. They came to the Indians. They came to the Arabs. The Arabs, they were punched. The real Arabs are black. If you see Ethiopians fleeing to Arab, or Morocco, Algeria, Egypt, why do they speak Arabic? Somalis, okay? And you go all to the western part of Africa, Arabs, which means the Arabs and these Asians, there is a history behind it, and Europe has nothing to do with it normally. That's why you see Algeria also coming against France and the European nation and saying, "Look, we don't want you to fight against them. We don't want any fight, because it can also be resolved without fighting, because you guys are stealing from us. This is for decades. This is a fact. What's going on? Move, go, yeah, go, but with God. Go with God. Go with Jesus. Take him. Go. We don't want you here, okay? But they don't want to leave those countries, because if they do so, it's over for them. in one single day. One single day. It's over. Okay? And all the elders in Africa, all these corrupt aliens, yeah, all this bad people will do the same, will be like a revolutionary against the Europeans, saying to them everywhere in Angola and all the other countries, out. And this is exactly what they do not want. Because by taking those minerals, do not forget that they are poisoning water, earth, air. They are destroying our infrastructure, our earth. They are doing everything, they're destroying Africa. Okay? And then they put also terrorism there. This terrorism, it doesn't come from the Africans themselves. Okay? They have used in Benin a special force to kill presidents and high class leaders in Africa, people that speak out against Europeans. They have killed El Gaddafi, yeah, so that El Gaddafi can't unite Africa, especially when we're talking about the BRICS right now. It's the same thing because the Southern African president that speaks highly, that is very, very, that the Mossad is really using in these times here, very intelligent man, yeah, he is speaking highly from the BRICS and telling also the African nation to not, uh, you know, to not sell our land, which is earth, bricks, okay, water. Okay, they have no water in Europe. Can you imagine? Okay, okay, there is no sweet water. The water that you drinks in couple of years, there was no water no more. There will be no fresh air in Europe. There will be no meat, no meat. You have seen how the prices has become, brothers and sisters. So now, the uh, if we are selling our earth, just earth, okay, all of this we need by ourselves to build in factories, yeah, so that we can now export finished products. This is what is important. You can go to normally I don't like to talk a lot about business, but you can go to Alibaba, for example. There are so many machines that the Chinese produce for different kind of things. You can sell it to the Europeans. Okay. So the thing is, uh, um, the Europeans are so scared that the next China is Africa, because China is just a place that they have their own problems. I don't want to go too deep into it. There's no water no more uh, in China. The climate is a disaster. The Most High is cleaning up those countries. Okay, and they have also their money problems, etc., etc. But Africa is free, brothers and sisters. It's written in the scriptures. Africa is free. The only problem in Africa is the people. It's our own people. They are making it very hard for us. Okay, they're making it very hard for us. The government is making it very hard for us. Okay, for us diasporians, yeah. This is the only problem. But if not, brothers and sisters, uh, this is the place to be. This is the place to be. And how can this ECOWAS or whatever think that uh, the others will not fight back? A camel, in the desert, right? You have a camel. A camel is big, right? But he scares. He's scary about a small scorpion. Yeah? When a scorpion comes, a camel becomes like, okay? Because if the scorpion bites him or picks him, a camel is like, oh, and it has poison. Brothers and sisters, those people think they are big because the Europeans are behind them. They think they can do whatever they want to do, yeah, but their time is up. Yeah. I love this doctor in Zimbabwe, this woman, yeah, I forgot her name. Um, you know, she always also talks very well, very good. I like that woman. Uh, you know, there are a lot of Pan Africanists outside there. They're their own people in Nigeria, their own people in Cote d'Ivoire, in the Ivory Coast, and everywhere, and all over the world. They do not want any war. They do not want any war. No war. If those elders want war, I explained it already. It's because the title. It's because they do not want. They still want to become not Doctor Mumbi. Uh, and Doctor Mumbi is from Kenya, I think. um, so this woman is from Zimbabwe. She's a politician. So now, the thing is that these elders, um, these elders, they do not want to leave their positions, and it was before. This was one of the biggest problems that we had before. Even when this in the time of when the Mwanda, we know that the Mwanda said to Moses or to Elijah, they were replaced. All the time, the Spirit brings someone new to come and to continue leading. Okay, if your time is up, someone else has to come to continue the Most High's work. But those leaders, who chooses them? Who puts them there? Who? Okay? And they do not want to leave these positions. But these people are multi rich billionaires, but they do not want to leave these positions. And we as a people, we suffer. Okay? So it's corruption. Now, who is in the front of who is the front of this war? Is Nigeria. Nigeria is saying, okay, we really want to go and fight against our own brothers. And I always have to mention this leader in Nigeria. These people are Muslims for years, for a long time. Muslims. You have different kind of people in Nigeria. Okay, different kind of people. Nigeria is mixed. It's mixed from the finest. But especially the Muslims, they want to go to war because they are the one that are very well used. Because, like I told you, there is a history behind that. Now, what is happening? The Nigerians, they don't have infrastructure. They don't have, um, you know, many people are don't go to school. Many people are fleeing from Nigeria to the west. How many people? If not Congo, Somali, um, Congo, Somali, Kenya in that time before. You had also here Ethiopia, Eritrea. These are the most of the people that flee from the countries is Nigeria. Okay, corruption, selling of Do you know where they used to sell people the most? It's Nigeria. Okay, and they have their own problems. And this president is about to say, I will, he wants to finance the whole war in the western part of Africa. Where will he take the money from if our Nigerian people, brothers and sisters, need the money for different kind of other things? Can you imagine? Yeah, can you imagine that uh, uh, this Nigerian leader is saying that he wants to go to war with the money of the people of the land, okay? And the Westerners are not even giving him something for that. He's just from him by himself. Yeah, I will invade Niger. I will go and fight Burkina Faso, etc., etc. Okay, so brothers and sisters, this is a very very scary story. What is happening here, and let the Most High show us what He wants to do. We really know that the Most High will be behind us, because if we make it, which means if we can bring those nations out of Africa, brothers and sisters, Africa will start his civilization. Africa will start to get his knowledge back that the Most High has hidden. Okay? Africa will start leading the world, because the first thing what will happen is the next thing that will happen is we're gonna kick the Americans out. The United States. They are everywhere in Africa. Everywhere. Okay? And when they are kicked out, we're gonna start to negotiate now with China. Yeah. And then if they do not want to give us what we want, they will be kicked out too. Okay? This is why these nations are fighting. And do not forget the BRICS. Like we said, Africa do not have to give the European nations their minerals. And the BRICS in South Africa, yeah, is about minerals, which means they have lost already. Their paper money has no value. And that's why they're trying to explore as much they can out of Africa. If they, sometimes, I know it from a lot of black people in France, in Asia, in Russia, in Germany, everywhere. Black people is in the bus or he's in train, and then you see this white people. They will not sit here. Even in the 21st century, white people are not only ashamed, but they are not willing to sit with black people in one seat. They are racists. They do not like us, and no one can doubt it. Okay? The new generation of their children, they have it too. But it's a little bit different, because they're seen here watching films, they're watching music clips, etc., etc. Okay, and those that are coming from those that are coming from those countries that they have seen a lot of violence, Ukraine, uh, India, etc., etc. Even if they do not like us, because they have seen a lot of violence, they have understood that they are only humans and they will also die like everyone else, which means they are respecting black people a little bit more. But the most of those Europeans, the most of them, the most of those nations, they give any value, not even a little, about black people. They do not like us. But if we kick them out of Africa, even it will start in America, even the it will start there. The people will receive more value. Black people will have another position. Now, Europeans, bosses, children, even young children will understand, Mama, so we have no electricity. We have to buy our stuff Where we buy our stuff? It's in Africa, my daughter. Yeah, from there we are getting the energy. From there we are getting the water. From there we are getting all the minerals. We, from this black people here, this people in America, from there, these people that are living. Now we're gonna have a complete other view. If I, because normally I wanted to do a lot of calls here. Do you know that black people gonna save the world? In the book of the Muslims, okay, it is written that black people gonna invite Mecca, yeah, and take from there those who are willing to serve the Most High truly. It's in the Quran, yeah. The same thing in Egypt in that time, yeah. When the Pharaoh said, I do not want to let these people go because they knew if these people here leave Egypt, the Most High will blow Egypt and destroy it. So the fight against Africa is not only fighting against Africa, it's also putting borders there so that no one really is willing to go there. Everything should stay in Babylon and nothing should go back to Zion. And this is a big problem because if you look closer, you're going to see that these people are like, one day we're going to start asking where these black people comes from. And if you do not know what to answer, like, oh, I don't know, I'm European, I'm Brazilian, I'm American, our black people will have a problem because white people will now start asking. I'm not talking about the elite that is already knowing everything, because there are some of those who knows, they know, but the most of those nations, they do not know anything. Like the most of our people do not know anything. What will happen? There will come a time that their children will start asking, where do you come from? Because we have to go back there. Okay? Because Europe is not the same no more. And it's fast. It's like a plane that have lost his turbines. It's like falling. Okay? But fast. And these people are already asking, where can we go? What can we do? Who are you? Do we have plantations where, the Europeans are asking. Those who are doing the research, they're understanding that the equator, yeah, the midst of the earth, yeah, the plates are moving and it's calling his children back. And if they do not, even the scriptures is talking about that that the nations will they will hang themselves to the black race so that they can make it home. Because you can imagine what they have done to us will be done to them. So they need some of the people that will protect them from the most of the violence that will happen. I don't want to go too deep into religion, but the next thing what you have to know is no plan. The last planes landing in Africa not going up no more, flying back. The most of the ships so full, and if you do not believe that, just Google the how the Europeans in the war, in the time of war, how they have started to flee to Africa by ships. And there are photos of those ships, yeah, how people, one person is above the other, like, a ladder of humans just to make it to Africa. It happened already. And do you think that these people build thousands and millions of ships for every one of us? If the scriptures even saying, yeah, it would be like in the time of Moses, time of Abraham, time of Lot, time of what is it? Noah. Yeah, which means people will also walk. And brothers and sisters, it sounds like, oh, when will this happen? It will not happen. Look, go to Google, go to YouTube and type natural disaster. Or you can type now, in this moment that I'm speaking, Canada is burning everywhere, which means all the cars. Oh, I want to go back to my. No, you will not go back to your home. You won't go back to your car. You won't go back nowhere. And when this starts, you have only one way to go, the way of the Darien Gap. Okay? And then you're going to start asking yourself, how can I make it to Africa? And people are like, wow, it will not happen yet. No, it is happening already. Uh, exactly. This is her name. This is her name, Dr. Arena. Yeah. Google her up. Thank you, Coco. Um, so I can say a lot about this kind of things with be smart to have underwear in America or in Europe or where you are and somewhere else because it will happen anyway. Okay, that one day you want to come back from work and you see flooding or whatever, and you can't go back, not even seeing your sister, your mother, maybe not even your children. Ask those that are living this kind of things already. Thank you very much, and I will see you very soon. Will be very soon on Patreon. I'm creating a complete new page on Patreon. I took my time because there's so many revelations things and new stuff, and I don't want to put it out there just for people to take it like I have done it before. The most that new know me, they know that I like to come with new stuff all the time, and this time will do it on Patreon. If the page is done, then I'm gonna come back to you guys and tell you exactly what you can get from these pages. And yeah, I will see you very soon. And the most I protect you and your family. Ingeto.